On this episode of Campfire with Dark Horse Creations, we are going to go over a really big error that I made when I was trying to take off the top layer of epoxy off of this black walnut slab. Um, Basically, right now, what I was trying to do is get it just skim the top of it. That way, I wasn't cutting too much of the board out. But in all actuality, what I did is I went way too deep and I took a lot of the fractal burns out. It was a really big error that's going to cost me about a week and a lot of money because I have to re-pour the epoxy. So make sure that if you guys are flattening your wood like this, make sure that it is set to the correct depth. If you like this type of video with the errors and I tell you how to fix the errors that I make throughout the video to hopefully save you time and money, please like this video and also subscribe. But here in a minute, I'm going to realize that I actually made this big error and I'm going to shut everything down and I'm going to regroup and do this all over again. Oh, there it goes right there. That's when I realized it, and I'm pretty upset with myself right there. But here in a minute, I'm going to get everything set back up, and I'm going to take all of the fractal burns out of it, and then I'm going to fractal burn it again and pour the epoxy. So here we go. I've got everything set up again, made up my mind on what I'm actually going to do. Um, and here we go. I'm going to take all the fractal burns out. If you guys, like I said earlier, if you guys like this type of video or if you have a request of a type of video, put that in the comments. If you like this type of video, like it and share it, and then also subscribe. What I'm using is I'm using a really old Craftsman router, and then I also got an 1.5-inch flattening blade off of Amazon. Um, as I make money, that's how I'm going to pay for the upgrade in the tools. So I am new to this business altogether, and that's the reason why I decided to make this YouTube videos is to show the basic person that they could actually do this and make it into a full-time job. So please join by liking and subscribing and joining me on this venture that I'm on. Um, but I'm going to let you guys stop listening to me right now while this is going to go ahead and finish flattening, and then we will hop into the next scene. now that I have it all flattened, I went ahead and I refractal burned it and poured the epoxy back in it. That way I could save a lot of time on this. I didn't mean to cut you guys out of the videos when I did that. I was just trying to cut back some time. So, and I believe it looks a lot better. But right now what I'm doing is I am sanding it down at 180 grit, and then what I'm going to do is I will water pop it, sand it down to 180 grit again, and then I will move forward to 240 grit. I lost roughly a week in the process of making this because I did have to refractal burn it and then also pour the epoxy, which takes up most of the time. So, like I said earlier, be very careful on how much you take off whenever flattening, because you never know, it might just so happen to be too much, like what I did. If you guys like these types of videos that show you the types of errors that you can make whenever making a piece of furniture or anything like that, please subscribe and also like this video. I'm going to do this a lot. I am a new woodworker that is trying to start up my own woodworking business, and I need a lot of support. And I'm willing to put the mistakes and the errors and the mistakes that I make out for everybody else to see. That way, if anybody else is trying to start up a business and is or was as afraid as I was starting off, I'm showing you what I've done to as far as the mistakes. So please like, share, and subscribe to this video. But I'm going to let you guys listen to a little music while I finish sanding it up with 180 grit. So here we go. I just got done water popping it at 180, and I am going over it right now with 180 again, and then I will be going over it with 240, and then also water popping it and then going over it again with 240. The reasons why you want to water pop it is because every time you water pop it, it's going to raise the little grain particles that your sander can't get. And then when it dries, those grains will be up, and then you could sand it again, and it will knock down those grain particles, and it will be really smooth. I'm actually going to continue doing this to 240 to 320 because there is epoxy, and you want to sand the epoxy with the finer grits of sandpaper to take all the little scrapes or little scratches out of it, because if you don't, then it'll be really visible, and your board won't look as good, or whatever you are making. So that's what I'm doing right now. Altogether, I've sanded for roughly 5 hours during this whole production of this. And I do all of this just before I put my top coat of epoxy on there to bring it all out with the vibrant colors of the wood and the blue epoxy. Um, if you guys like this type of video, please like it. If you guys are not subscribers, please subscribe to this and give me feedback on what your thoughts are on my videos. I know that they're not very good quality. I'm working on that. I am new to this whole video production process, but I'm doing this for the people that want to venture off into woodworking, but they don't know how to do it, or they might not know how to do something specific. And so I'm trying to go into a little bit more details in my videos on the stuff that I use or possibly do to create things. So if you like these type of videos, please like, subscribe, and share. And please give me your feedback, or if you want me to build something specific, let me know. Sanding does take a lot of the process. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm knocking off the dust, and then I should be getting my spray bottle and spraying it off and letting it dry. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to dry, depends on the temperature outside. So I will use a torch, and I will help the drying process. I'll just wave the torch over the top of it, and it will dry the wood out, raising the grain. Um, right there, there's a little high peak of epoxy, and so I'll try to knock that off, and then I will smooth that out as much as possible. But I will let you listen to some music while I finish sanding. So now that I have it all sanded down to the way I want it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my epoxy. I'm using on this one actually Alumilite epoxy, top coat epoxy. It dries a lot faster, and Alumilite I was actually able to go pick up some from, I believe it was Hobby Lobby. I don't have any woodworking stores around where I live at. Otherwise, I would go to Woodcraft, or even if I ordered it online, it would be a week before I actually got it. So Alumilite epoxy is good. What I'm doing here is I'm mixing it. I'm mixing it really slow. That way it will form less bubbles. And then once I'm done mixing it for roughly 5 to 6 minutes, I will hit it with a torch and pop the bubbles that actually come to the top of the bucket. Um, the mixture ratio for the Alumilite top coat epoxy is 1 to 1, so it would be part A 1. However, how much you ever pour in there, I believe I actually poured in 8 ounces and then a part A, and then I'm going to pour in the exact same amount of part B and then mix it. So depending on how much you actually want to mix, is you would come up with that on your own. But for this one, I mixed 8 ounces to 8 ounces, have 16 ounces altogether, and I should be pouring it here in a second, but I just pour it over the top, and then I take one of my scrapers and then I will run it along the lines, and once I get it the way I want it, then I will hit it with a torch and let it dry, and I will check it periodically for bubbles as they form because they could soak in the wood. So if you guys like this video, please like it and share it. Also, hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber yet. Also, leave me feedback on things that could actually help me be a better woodworker, or if you guys have specific questions, I will be able to answer them to the best of my ability. If not, that's what this is for us to come together as a community and to help each other out, build, and hopefully become into a woodworking business. That's my dream at the end of this. So please like, share, and also subscribe if you are not. Also, I do have TikTok and Instagram, and my website is where I put all of this stuff up for sale at. So please check those out too. See right there, I took the torch and I popped the bubbles, and there we go again, popping some more bubbles in there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it over the top. Just like that. Oh, let me go back to this end and bring it towards me. I am really not perfect at pouring epoxy. Like I said, I am a beginner at all of this. I know that I'm consistently watching a bunch of different videos trying to make me a better epoxy person. But I got my little green or yellow scraper, and all I'm doing is dragging the edges and I'm letting it fall over. That way it covers the edges as well, and then I'm going to let it drip off the bottom, and then I drip off the edge of it, and then I will sand down the bottom and do the same thing to the bottom. If you guys are liking these videos, like I said earlier, please like it, subscribe. If you guys got questions at any time, feel free to send me a message, and I'll answer them. So I need to add a little bit more epoxy. I am about the messiest person when it comes to epoxy. So I'm always looking for different ways of making this a lot easier to do and a lot cleaner as well. So if you guys have any ideas, just send me a message, let me know. But I will let you listen to a little bit of music while I finish doing this.